All right, let's get started. All right, today I want to announce 50% off any course or bundle until Sunday. Use code HUSTLER. This is at hustlerskungfulifeskills.com. 50% off anything. So, what we're going to talk about is winning in business, how to get what you want out of business, life, and relationships. So one of the things that we're going to do, and this isn't a course that I've talked about. It's, let me make sure you can see it. Make sure it's proportional here. This is an updated version of Scripted Days. I meant to bring this up some time ago. So we got a lot of cool stuff here. And as you can see, there's more here than in Scripted Days. So why do you need this course? We got a lot of stuff in here. So it includes Scripted Days. So I'm going to break down, and this is a very important aspect. Goals kick wishes in the ass. Goals are written down. I'm going to be talking about resetting your thinking, making the time. So this is a much more robust course than Scripted Days. And if you get it between now and Sunday, you can get it for 50% off. How cool is that? Links is below. Well, you go to Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills, you will see it. There it is. It would be for the people to partake in. So let's talk about how to get what you want out of life. There are many, many people who are suffering. They're not getting the results that they want. They're not getting the success that they want. They're not getting anything that they want. So a big part of that is the lack of goals, lack of written goals. You got to write your goals down, people. And the second thing is taking the time to sit and think about your future, to sit and think about what you want to be. Because the other night I laid out my real estate plan, which is written down. I've been studying this for months. And, because I could go get a realtor, buy a regular house, but I would be wasting money. So I got to get into the market of real estate that's unlisted. And with this, I got to get connected. I got to build relationships. And all this is in my written goals of things I need to do. So how does this help you? First of all, I recommend that you get Writing for Cash. Maybe I could have named it something else, but go ahead and get that and start working on your goals this weekend, because goals are critical. Goals are very, very critical. And so what we're going to do here real quick, since we got an H undergrad person here Hold on. And let's see. All right. Making sure everybody can see this. All right. The way that the course should be listed, you would start with the audio book. Then you go to Primal Drive. You go to Becoming the Boss, How to Never Be Broke Again, the $25 Hustle. So essentially, you start off with Pimping Your Mind for Success and just go through the course. Because typically, you got to work on your mindset. That's the big issue. And, by the time you get up to asking for the money, you should have an ideal of a product or service that you want to sell. So that's where you start with that. Just making sure that we're clear. So I'm going to tell you a story, what happened with me. I got the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And I don't know where I got this from, but maybe it was because I was a writer. I got in the habit of writing how I wanted my days to go. Because, toward my latter time in the boarding house, things were getting much better. But I would still write out how I wanted my day to go, how I wanted things to drop. And I also began to notice certain things, that my days would go remarkably well. Essentially, I was programming myself for success, and I didn't understand what I was doing. And one time, I was struck by this redhead when I was working at T-Mobile, PowerTel. And I wrote down that, that she was going to come back, and, I was going to wait on her, and I was going to ask her out. And, it took like 2 weeks for it to happen. 2 weeks later, she came back. I was the only one free at the time. I had to serve her, and we were just sitting there, and I said, hey, let's go out. Just like that. She said, okay. Boom, boom, boom. And I was like, whoa, that was cool. And then I really started to employ this in the storage auction business. I would write out how my days would go. And this is how I was winning, because essentially you got to program yourself for success, because there's so many things that's going to try to knock you off center. There are so many things that are going to pop up. Maybe you'll wake up and you'll go outside and your car won't start. That can put a bad mood in anybody's day. Jay Preston, absolutely. Because, I'm going to bring this up because people keep bringing this up. Like I talk about dating white girls every stream. I put up a stream and I was talking about how my mother did me. And this person put up this comment, oh, that's why you talk about dating white girls, because your mother did this. It had nothing to do with it. You know why I started dating white girls? My first girlfriend was white in the 8th grade. Her name was Rebecca Gross. And I liked how she treated me, and I've had that experience over and over and over again. So, programming, many black people, pro-blacks, hoteps, are programmed to hate anything that's white. So since white people have a large percentage of success in this country and the way that they go about it, these hoteps are not going to do that. They're going to be negligent in their success model because, that's how white people do it. So I'm black. I can't do it that way. And, I got all these ignorant people coming on the channel making these assumptions because they stuck on the black thing versus the success thing. Success doesn't care what color you are. Success doesn't care what religion you are. If you use the tools of success, and what I'm giving you right now is a tool of success, and you deploy it, you'll be successful. No. Once you become a dominant man, once you get occupied the dominant frame, you can find all kind of lovelies right here in the good old United States of America. And this is programming, because what this course will do is reprogram your mind. And once you get a little success, you get like a little taste, then you will do more of it. T5 to Mary, I walked morning and the flat tire, it did rearrange the day. I mean, little things like that can knock you off center. Like this is one of the reasons I have 3 computers. I got this computer, I got a computer in that office, and I got another computer in the basement. And as a person who makes his money online, I can't not ever be without a capable computer. So any one of these computers can run my business. And that's why I have 3 of them. And that's why I have 2 cars, because I had to have some work done on one car. I drove my other car. So, it's a whole different lifestyle. But once again, what your programming is massively important. How you program yourself, what influences. And one of the things that my energy draws is jealous and envious energy. And once again, once you go on this program and you start getting results, people will say, you're lucky. They'll start saying, oh, you're so lucky. Actually, you've taken an active position on your mental. And once you start taking an active position on your mental, you don't have all these crazy highs like, with Mary here. Going out, the tire's flat. If I went out and my tire was flat, no big deal. I would just call up, because the thing is, depending on which car, because I got staggered wheels on the X5, so I would have to get it towed and get a new tire. But I got money in the account for that. So it would be just an inconvenience plus not a day-wrecking event. And this is one of the reasons I say money can buy happiness. Many people's like, oh, money can't buy happiness. Money can make you comfortable. When Robert F. Smith paid for these boys' college tuition and student loans, he bought some happiness. Facts. Yeah, because the thing is, once you start developing an abundance mindset, and once you start to invest in your life on a certain level, you're just not going to have these little hiccups and conveniences. Most people live in a scarcity mindset. Like the rich people of Atlanta. First person, like, I can get a house like that over here in this neighborhood for cheaper. And he said the same neighborhood. It ain't the same neighborhood. I can go up here and I can walk for miles and miles and miles and miles, and I'm going to see similar houses. This is the only place in Atlanta that you can have this kind of trajectory, because going from here all the way down the North Side Drive. But once again, scarcity mindsets. Be real, no such thing as luck. Whatever comes to you, put yourself in the position. Oh, yeah. And once again, with this program, it programs you for success, and it programs you to position yourself to get good stuff. Because once you take an active position of your mental, you will be set on. You will be able to do so much. Pody, start him off with Earl Nightingale and Joseph Murray. That's a good place to start him off. And be sure to get in my free audiobook. Because once again, most people are living scarcity mindsets. As I said in last night's stream, recession is coming. The recession is coming. And either you're prepared for it or you're not. And many bad things are going to happen. We've got a student loan bubble. We've got housing. I don't think housing is going to crash like it did last time, but you don't really know. Housing prices will go down during this next recession. I don't think they're going to bomb out like they did, because there's some places that still haven't recovered from the last recession. But one of the things that you can do is work on rebuilding your mindset. Because I would say most of my dissenters have a scarcity mindset. I'll give you an example. Kevin Samuels has this video, "You Belong in the Room." Check it out. Talks about success and all these other things. And I went up there and put up there that I wasn't the minority, and I had an old slave Negro come up there. "You can believe that if you want. You confused." See, I don't have the average life of the average black person in the United States of America. I just don't. Because I got money. And anyone that says money with my group, the dominant male, I had to get rid of a post. This guy said, if you got money, that doesn't insulate you from being a black person. I like, you ain't been successful enough. So I had to get rid of him because, once again, programming. Jay-Z's The Story of OJ. I hate that song. Regardless of what you do, you still gonna be an N. To me, the people who think like that are the coons of the race. Those are the coons, those are the Uncle Toms, because there seems to be this fear of having a greater thought of themselves. And, going with this course and reprogramming myself, I'm not the same person that I was groomed to be. I know that I can win. I know that I can compete. I know that I can compete in any arena. I know this. Crub Junkie TV, this is so true. Wrote down things I wanted done and the money I wanted to make each week over the last month, and I actually overachieve each target. See, what writing does is focuses your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is just like this. It's just chilling. It's doing whatever. Oh, this news story came in. Oh, this article came in. Oh, so by you being intentional about what you expose your subconscious mind to, changes everything. Changes everything. That FU money makes a huge difference. Espany LaRue, I decided to disconnect from anything that doesn't benefit me, including toxic friends and family. I feel you on that, because I had to break away from my family because they still remember the guy I used to be in high school. Now the business owner with employees, they're just like, you just still, you that dude. So you got to make moves. You got to change up everything. Because, like many people, and this is a scarcity mindset. Only thing in life that matters is family. What group of people holds family to such a high degree? Poor people. Why? Poor people have a lot of needs. They need everybody in the tribe to exercise, to work on for bringing needs. See, when you get some money and you don't have to depend on Pookie and them, you don't have to depend on Big Mama, your life changes. People always say family's everything. This could be a huge setback trying to please them. Absolutely. If you get with a progressive family, that's a beautiful thing. But if you get with, you're the smartest one in the family, You the one with the most hustle, you know, they're going to be hating on you. Why are you trying to be something bigger than you are? Why don't you just be grateful? Why don't you be satisfied? You got a car, you got a house, you got a good job. Ain't that enough for you? You got people who going to talk to you like that. Those people are not good for you because your potential is unlimited. You know, the car, the house, a good job, that's just the start. You know, 10 years from that point, you can have a business and own an office building. Be real. The book Think and Grow Rich says write down your goals, repeat daily until you actually see yourself acquiring whatever you want. It's been a long time since I read that book. But writing things down, being intentional, will change your life, will set your life on fire. This is a big, big thing that many people don't do. And this is how I have won in business. I write this stuff down. I write my goals down. Then I get busy executing. And what I do is fill up my life with goal-fulfilling purposes. Because, you know, I'm not a club guy. I don't go out and do a lot of partying. So it enables me to get the things that I want in life. Because you got to write this stuff down. And I suggest you know, what I like to use is just regular paper like this. Write stuff down. Keep a running tab on it. And just watch the results come in. Because I kill a lot of trees. I really do. And one of the things that you will see once you start this process is you'll see your life get better. And as your life gets better, your stress level will plummet. You just won't get stressed out by certain things because you got a plan, man. You are actually out here doing something. You're not just out here existing. You have a plan. You have a situation. Because, you know, the last few times I've had to have auto repairs, it was just an inconvenience. Like, I got to go to the dealership. I got to take this. It wasn't like, man, I can't drive my car until I get paid. That's a lot of stress. You got to use your car to get to work. Your car is down. You don't have the money to get it fixed. That's a lot of stress, which is why people should have the 5 checking accounts. Crib Junkie, how often do you return to what you've written down? I generally look at it every day. Typically, it'll stay on the list until it gets done. I have a simple notebook that I keep all my notes in, and I review the new notes every day and try to implement and research. Because the key point of this is execution on what you wrote. LS Cherry. I want to turn my Uber driving into $60K plus LLC. LS Cherry, you can lease your vehicles. People are hooked on the hopium. Yeah, I actually would keep people out my business because typically the people who are closest to you, if they're not a supportive network, and the thing is, they don't even have to piss on your dreams. They could just say, you really want to do that? You think you could? That's all it could take to knock you out your frame. It doesn't take much to change the frame. And one of the things that happens with goal setting, you should set your goals in public. We have the social media influence where people like to put their goals out on social media. That's great if you fulfill them, but if you crash and burn, all these people like, hey man, I thought you were gonna lose 30 pounds. What's happening, man? Folks will come for you like that. People will. So just go ahead and operate in silence. Write your goals down, get busy. They'll see the results. They'll see when your money's right. Well, maybe. Because, since I live in a wealthy neighborhood and I get to see conspicuous consumption, I just don't see the millionaire next door. I see the millionaires around here who are flexing their money, who are buying these big houses, who are driving these fancy cars, who are living their best life. So I am also in a very rare situation to live in this neighborhood because this is one of the wealthiest zip codes in the Southeast, not just Georgia, but Alabama, Mississippi, North Carolina. So this is a very special place. I like to put it into the universe. Keeps me accountable. Haters motivate me. Oh man, I got a whole bunch of haters. And the thing is, I don't even really talk about what I'm doing. I just do it. And that's enough to bring out massive hate. That's enough to really start some stuff. Because essentially, you need to write down what you want to do. Then you need to execute on it. And then you need to be consistent with it. Yeah, I don't really post a lot of stuff on my Instagram. It took me 2 years for it to show and flex, even though I was making enough money to do it a year ago. I really don't flex that much. Not yet, anyway. I have a feeling that there might be a little flexing in the future. How do you create the capital needed to hire your first employee? You can save it up. You can get a job. Well, this is what I would recommend for people to do. You got one job, right? That job, you should get the 5 checking accounts. Then you should allocate your money, and you should get a second job or a hustle that's going to put capital money in this account for your business. So that's how you get the money. Because people are talking about all this funding. Like, I need to get this money. See, this is the danger of getting money when you don't have any experience. Let's say you have a 750 credit score. If you know what to do, you could probably get $500,000 in unsecured credit lines. Between lines of credit at the bank, between open credit cards, you can probably get $500,000. But you don't have no experience deploying that capital. You don't know how to make sales. You don't know how to run the business. So you can have this money, but you don't know what to do with it. And this is one of the big reasons that I don't gas people up. I don't tell people to do ridiculous stuff with their credit cards. This is why I say keep your debt levels low, manage your money wisely, because you can get the credit. But once you spend that credit and you don't do it right, you got to pay those folks back. And on these business credit cards and lines alone, you can't bankrupt out of that. These folks will come after you. Yeah, Ben the bartender, people want funding, but no business and no way to pay it back. When I built my first LLC and got into business credit, one of my biggest fears was, how do I pay this money back? Because I remember the first time I did it, I didn't have my business wasn't rolling. I had a job. And I was able to get up to $300,000. And I was like, ooh, this is cool, but it just scared me. And then the second one, I went crazy because I had cash flow. I had a business that was bringing in money. So when I got that Home Depot credit card, no personal guarantee, I spent on it and I got it up to $100K. It literally took me 5 months to go from $10,000 to $100,000 credit limit. Pookie 123 size. Should I invest in my real estate using my credit cards? What you need to do is get around some real estate investors and learn what you're doing before you start spending any money. Yeah, man, people don't want to get their hands dirty. People just want to come on because, like, with my real estate plans, I got long learning curve. There's so many things I got to learn and, when I'm doing the stacking cash right now. So, I'll know when to release the cash. And like, unless you got major credit cards, like if you got to cash out 3 or 4 credit cards to get one piece of property, your credit score is going to dip because you're overextended. So I would work on it differently than that. I'm not using my credit card for real estate. I would not recommend that at all. Because, once again, I'm trying to tone you guys up. Get used to using your own cash. I know other people's money is the way to do it, and a lot of people have done it that way. But get some cash. Make sure you get that cash propped up. Because let me go ahead and just share some with you guys. Typically, I save a lot of money. And, this month, I'm probably going to put $30,000 in the bank for the real estate capital account. And that's my big focus. I'm actually going to sell one of my cars because I'm at a point I'm kind of tired of it. I'm going to sell that. Take that money, put it into real estate. Chris Monroe, many times you don't need a lot of money to get real estate. In fact, I bought my first 8 houses for no cash or credit at all. You went to one of those hard money lenders? Because this is one of the things I've learned. If you got a good deal, there are investors out there with money, they will literally throw at you. They ain't looking at your credit score. They're looking at the deal. Does this deal make sense? Will this deal fly? Will this person get the deal done? I have a relative who says she wants to have a business, but does not want to deal with people. When I told her that having a business means dealing with people, she looked at me like I was crazy. See, this is one of the things. Everybody wants the result. They want the sizzle, but they don't want to cook the steak. They don't want the oil. They don't want the burnt stove, but they want the steak. Everybody's, hey, yeah, I want a business, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And the things they typically don't want to do are parts of the things that make the business successful. It's crazy. Yeah, somebody that was doing Amazon FBA finally moved into a warehouse. I told him 2 years ago to move to a warehouse, and his wife chimed in, no, we good, we good. And I'm so like, if you want to grow, you're going to have to move into a warehouse. And they just bought this big they got like a 5,000 square foot warehouse. And I was like, see? Because this is one of the things that people don't understand about business. Capacity matters. You can only do so much stuff in your house. Like, this house is 5,000 square feet. I got a studio. The whole basement's a studio. This is the dining room. This is the studio. I got three more bedrooms upstairs that I can use for additional studios. You need room to grow. You got to kill a cow first. Chris Monroe, I actually specialize in creative real estate. No loans in my name are hard money. No loans in your name, but do you have loans? Or did you do Like go to the seller and it's like, hey, let me pay you over time. Been the bartender. That's funny. You guys want to partner up? And like I said, Chris Monroe, I got a lot to learn about real estate. I consider myself a noob because, after doing my research and watching all these videos, I was going to do MLS, and that makes no sense to do that. I need to find off-market deals. Man, I never saved money in the can. I've always used bank accounts. Took over zero loans. I took over the existing financing, created new notes on others. Darian Clark, you're on the boss until you put your money up, Dame Dash. And this is one of the things, because people, with this recession, you guys are going to be able to, with, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000, properly deployed, you're going to be able to times that times 3 up to 10x. So the recession is the time to come up. You can learn it pretty quick, G. I've only been in the real estate game 1 year. You can buy the houses with no money, with subject to or take over the loan and keep the loan on the owner's name. So, we will see. Justin Henry, real estate is good, but I think starting a regular online business, you get money faster and consistently. Justin Henry, you are correct. The reason I will be able to do this real estate is because of my online business. See what I'm gonna, here's what I'm doing. Matter of fact, I think I can show y'all something. And I will give you the plan. All right. All right, so this is the dominant male page. It's at 4,400 likes. I got most of that this week. So probably next week, I may get to 8,000 to 10,000 likes. And then I'm going to take that audience, because the likes are people who like the content. So I'm building the audience to create the data that I'm going to need to run Facebook ads. Because I've noticed something about people who successfully run Facebook ads. You go to their page, they got at least 15 to 20,000 likes, or maybe even have a few 100,000. So once that's done, then I'm going to, and I'm looking at the people who are joining the group, who are coming in. So I'm getting organic reach because I'm running paid traffic on this page. And I post enough to keep it interesting. Because, see, 513 people reached. See, this one did really well. 2187, 2,100 people reached. So once I get this built up, then I'm going to start running ads. And then, and one of the things that they do is they link up your Facebook group to your page. So it's very interesting because I only have 284 members in that group. And once I get that rolling, because the dominant male course is doing really well, the dominant male course is going to create the income, because I'm going to take all the money from the dominant male course and put that into real estate. And I got that from Grant Cardone because he has 150 million a year coming in through his businesses, and he puts some of the money in real estate. He puts millions of dollars a year into real estate. So I figured, because he's got like 6,000 units and I know how he's buying, that's 7.2 million a month that's coming in. And, that's on a large level because, essentially my level, I'm just looking at 10 houses, $3,000 per month rent, houses paid off. But, to your point, I'm using the online business to turn this money into longer money, much longer money. Because, an online business makes money much faster, can do so much very fast. So, what do y'all got going on here? I see. Barry Wise doing storage auction. He owns a ton of Chevron stock. Sub 2 is a life-changing, one of the most powerful ways to acquire real estate. You can take the equity and buy another property. It took a lot of soul searching and asked around, but I finally came to the conclusion that if I'm serious, I need to spend that bread. Haven't regretted this decision. Yeah, because Grant's heavily leveraged. See, what I learned from Grant was to take this Wi-Fi bread and convert it into a long-term asset. So that's one thing I'm taking from him because once again, going through getting dominant mail, because I can get dominant mail to 40, 50,000 a month. That's a house, like that's at least. Well, actually, the goal is to get it to 100K a month. If I can get it to 100K a month or a mil, I would take all that money, pay taxes, and buy real estate. And once I get my first 10 properties, it's going to be 25 to 30K a month just coming in passively. Then, I will look at my next move. Thanks, Be Real. Jason Clutchy, if you check out Robert Kiyosaki's books on real estate, you don't even use your own money with loans. The more loans you have, the more they want to loan you. Well, once again, I still am, because I got a course talking about financial management. Now, loans, like I'm going to be buying single family residences. And there'll be times that, like someone to move out or something, and there'll be downtime. Since the property will be paid off, I'm not going to be sweating paying the mortgage. And I won't have to pay taxes on this property for decades. I'll have to pay property taxes but I will have a renter in the house who's going to pay those property taxes. So there's a lot that goes with that. But essentially, what I'm borrowing from Grant Cardone is take this Wi-Fi bread and convert this to a long-term asset. Because once I buy that house can make me money for 30, 40, 50, as long as I own it. I'm going to really get into the network. Because, see, I'm going to come in a little different than someone who's just a real estate investor with no money. I'm going to come in with business knowledge, because, like, how I'm going to list my houses. Like, I go to Zillow all day long, and I see they don't use copywriting to sell these houses. That's a missed opportunity right there. I'm going to use copywriting. I'm going to stage some houses. True, the power in real estate is the debt. You don't pay taxes on debt. That's how you get the infinite return. Be real. Robert Kellogg could say he took out $300 million in loans during the last recession. He said he loves the debt. Like I said, if you're buying commercial and you got an apartment unit, you will be able to pay that debt back. Because, how many of your friends got evicted during the last recession? Not many. What I'm going to do is lean on my internet business to create the capital to buy this property. Because I got two. See, I can live on the hustler's kung fu money easily. And, because the disruptive mail course money, that's a new revenue stream. I don't need that to live. And this is why I keep telling you guys, you got to get your money situation straight. You got to have your 5 checking accounts. You got to have your budget. So when new money comes in, you can actually see it and it actually can stack up. I may put that Wi-Fi bread on the shirt. But essentially, I have a different plan that based on my financial fundamentals. Because, my projections, 10 houses that, I get a rent of $3,000 per month. That's $30,000 per month. It's $360,000 a year. Minus 10% for property taxes and stuff. It's still over $300,000. Cash money that I don't have to pay taxes on. See, I'm not going to have to pay taxes on this property until the rents equate what I paid for the property. And the rents are going to go up. So it'll be decades before I even have to start paying taxes on this rent money. And I will have write-offs for my other business. Darren Clark, I'm the first person to speak on the 5 checking accounts. I got a course. They got it from me. Yes, working on a budget and 5 checking accounts, it was hard, but it gets easier over time and the money stacks up. Because it's going to start off real slow because, people are used to living in that scarcity mindset. Like this earnings app. Like 100, you can get up to $100. $100? You should have that in a savings account somewhere. Everybody should have like $2 to $3 grand minimum in a savings account. You don't need no earning. Oh man, people say they want other people's money, but they're actually looking for a sugar daddy. True that. Runs dropping dues, page likes, audience identification, targeted ads. Oh yeah, you get more for your buck. You get a lot of these live streams because once I get that page to about 8,000 or 10,000 likes, I'm gonna start running ads on that page, and I'm gonna take them to a webinar because essentially, unless you're selling a physical product, to send people straight from an ad or cold traffic to a product page that's not a physical product, I've seen people lose a lot of money. I see a story like this in my Facebook groups, like, oh man, I spent $5,000 on ads. I made no money. And you got to have a webinar. And I'm going to have talks. I'm going to do this really different. Like, what is it to be a man? And this is some other stuff I'm putting together, because there's a space for this product. Oh man, some real estate investors keep 1 to 2 abandoned buildings and keep filing loss with the Internal Revenue Service. Did I ever tell you that story when I was renting my warehouse, and this is how I learned about the real estate game? That they would not lower the price because in their portfolio, those buildings offset the gains, and the buildings were paid for. So the only thing they had to pay was property taxes. They really wasn't losing money. You don't have 100 in stash? I know, man. Your return won't be good without a warm audience. And this is why YouTube is so powerful, because once I get those ads up and running, I'm going to take some money and I'm going to start running YouTube ads. Their earning app is the biggest load of trash. It says it's not fair that you work today, don't get paid today. Super loser mindset. Agent J Poole. I don't know how these folks were making it. You know, I got my first job. I had to wait 3 weeks for my first check. And now these folks, when I had these employees, you know, it was like, we can't wait that long. Some of these churches are going to go under during the recessions. They operate off donations. Some of these churches spend more on salaries than anything. We will see, man. We will see. It took me 3 days to get to 5K likes on your FBA page. Well, I've gotten to almost 5,000 likes, and I spent about 400. Because once again, this is a hard page. Oh yeah, Chris Monroe, I know, definitely. Well, that's what I'm counting on. They don't have a solid business system for lean times. Nope. The Lord gonna take care of me. The Lord. Those are hood churches. Real churches have staff, procedures, and operations Monday through Friday. So we're gonna see. But I'm getting ready to get excited because next week, to Matt Gershom, I should have 8 to 10,000 likes, and that's going to be because I'm going to keep the like campaign because I'm spending $100 a day. I upped the budget, so I'm getting like 200, 300 likes a day, and I'm going to keep that until I get up to probably 10,000 likes, and then I'm going to drop it down to 50, 25 dollars a day to keep the likes coming, and then I'm going to create some new ads to promote the products. Every job I started 3 weeks in the hole. The Lord. Because essentially, and then I will, once I get my first rental, I'll do, the first rental YouTube, and I'll talk about how I'm going to set the corporate, because I already got the holding company for the real estate company, where all the money's going to go to the holding company. And I'm probably going to put 2 to 3 properties in the LLC, because it's going to be run as a business from day one. It's never going to, none of these properties are going to be in my name. They're going to be in because when I get real close to pulling the trigger, I got to create the operating company, move the money from the operating company, from the holding company to the operating company, purchase the property, and then get the QuickBooks set up. Earning app is a scam to keep poor people poor. Man, that is crazy. I didn't know McDonald's was doing that. But I'm real excited because once I do that with the dominant male page, I'm going to repeat the process with the Hustlers Kung Fu page because I got products and stuff already set up for that. So your boy could be doing $1.5 million, $2 million a month. And I would put 70% of that money into real estate. So that would give me the money, because if I could get up to $2 million a month, I can get those 10 houses in half a year, easy. And then I can look at my next move. Good Lord, they can cash out at McDonald's. I didn't know they were doing that. That's crazy. But once again, when you see the earning app, this is someone who doesn't have any financial acumen, because you should have, I mean, even if you make minimum wage, you should have $2,000 to $3,000 away somewhere. You should have that money somewhere. And this is one of the things that I keep teaching y'all. Everybody needs a budget. Even if you're a millionaire, you need a budget. Even if you're a billionaire, you need a budget. Because this is how these lottery winners go broke. You know, you win $30 million and 5 years later, you got lawsuits against you because you overextended. Because typically someone who wins the lottery is coming from a broke person mindset, and they have all this money. Like, I remember the first Georgia lottery winner. He won something like $11 million. And he said he was going to buy him a double wide and a pickup trailer. And everybody laughed at him because he didn't realize how much 11 million was. You don't have to buy you a double wide. You could buy you a real house, player. Back then, you could get a house like this for $2 something. Dude in the earning app used that to get a $10 haircut. That's crazy. For sure, no stash, no hustle, no stuff around the house to sell. They just have the money they make from their job. And this is something else too, because I'm getting back to my thrifty ways. I got 4 cameras around here, and 2 of them I don't use. So I'm getting ready to put them on eBay and just liquidate that stuff, because, you know, it's all about stacking the cash for the real estate. Because, you know, essentially I will show you guys, or I'll probably do a course on how I'm going to set up the LLCs. Oh man, I see so many opportunities, Chris Monroe. Crossing over from a business background to real estate should be easy for you. Because like I see, like with these Zillow ads, they use no copywriting on how to sell these houses. A lot of people take trashy pictures. I mean, it's crazy. So I'm going to approach it from a different game. And I'm also going to create my own property management company and offer those services for other landlords. So that's going to be a profit center as well. Jason Clutchy, they buy those big ass houses, quit their job. 5 years later, they still want those taxes, bro. You know, if you won like $20 million cash, if you took 10 million invested and blew 10 million, you invested 10 million, your grandkids will never have to work. King Nick, holding company never does business with anybody. Man, Quentin Jackson, instead of a gallon of water every 2 weeks, will give you a cup every day, the earning app. Not just lotto winners. This happens a lot with people getting EIC, spending all of that refund during tax season. Matt Gershom used Wi-Fi money and put in long-term investments. That's $1 million advice right there. So many marketers blow their money on Lambos to flex on Instagram. Yes, the H undergrad is still available, Gary Green. Links below. Because like I said, I actually see once, because the thing is, you got to have patience. Because I'm going to have to test some ads. I'm going to have to run some ads because I'm going to create 5 ad sets. And, it's going to be a very different kind of talk. And I'm not going to do the webinar where people think there's a live webinar because people get real upset about that. They're like, hey, man, I asked you a question during the webinar and you never answered me. Fake ass webinar. So I'm just going to have a live chat that I'm going to direct these people to. And at the end of the chat, there'll be the offer. Yeah, because essentially, I wish I had started this a long time ago. Because I got some regular investments, but I like the feeling of owning property. Owning something that I can run my hand across, go visit, Yep. Zillow has everybody and their mom on there. No pictures of the property. No drone footage. Bland copy. Folks don't realize the cash buyers on the other end would buy quicker. Yeah, because I'm just sitting there like, how many Zillow ads I've seen with 2 to 3 pictures? The pictures were dark. They didn't spice it up. Because one of the things I would do is I will stage these houses with some fly furniture. And I may put that in part of the rental. Like, hey, this is the price with the furniture. This is the price without the furniture. Chris Monroe, yep, all the people who made their money in Bitcoin and crypto, they should have invested those earnings into real investments. Absolutely. Because, I listen to Uncle Grant. And, I could call him because Grant's like 8 years older than me, or I think he's 10 years older than me. But, essentially with my plan, all I need is 2 to 3 years of doing this. I'm set. I'm more set than I am right now because let's say I go to get 30 houses and they make $3,000 a month. That's $90,000 a month. That's $1 million a year in passive income. That's going to go up. Rent goes up. So every year that I own these rentals, more money, more money. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people get really upset about these fake webinars. And I'm like, being, the part of the dominant male credo is to be honest and upfront. So I'm like, hey, welcome to this little chat where I'm going to tell you, I'm going to spice it up. The worst thing about Zillow is you don't have to be honest with your property details. I showed the house that said it had 2 bathrooms. Bath 2 was a toilet next to the washing machine. Good Lord. There's nothing like walking to your property saying, hi, so-and-so, I own this building. Instant Willie. The biggest baller moment that I've experienced was when Richard Bowers was like, we were moving Tory and Company in. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and this dude, big old dude, he's wide, right? And he said, hey, my name's Richard Bauer. I own this building. Baller move. That was just baller. It was so baller. I was like, I own this building. So you're right, man. That's definitely one of the things. Because, I like the real estate. I know my neighborhood because I'm going to buy my neighborhood. I know what the rents, because the rent, like my apartment, I went in, when I left, I was paying $1,100 a month. That same apartment is 1950. They couldn't charge it if people weren't paying it. So I'm like, good Lord. Engineer life skills. Uncle G, I got a house in the military town that's almost paid off. I'm moving soon. Never sell property that's almost paid off. I mean, I don't care if you can get 600, 800. That's a check coming in every month, man. Never sell property that's almost paid off. Keep that sucker. Because you're just in a military town, you're always going to have renters. Always. So you got so many things that are going on. Kirk Johnson, check out the Matterport 3D scanning tech to make your ad. Meet Kevin has a good video showing how he uses to make a virtual walkthrough of the property. Oh, I'm going to use tech like crazy. I'm going to use the drone. I'm going to take high resolution pictures. I'm going to make sure the house has good curb appeal. Like I said, I'm going to have my own property management company. I'm going to hire, because that's going to be one of the first early expenses, is because I will do, once I get to 4 or 5 houses, I'm going to put that together. I already got the plan. And I'll open that up to other landlords and just go out and get a staff and do that angle. All my houses beat market rents. Cash flow is king. And that's what I'm looking for. Because, you know, once I get these houses, that's like permanent cash flow. If you're in a good area, you will always have renters. And I've been checking like people who have houses for rent. I've been watching them, and I'll call them, and I'm seeing typically these houses are staying on the market 1 to 3 months. And then they're gone. And these are houses with $4,000 a month rents, $5,000 a month rents. Because in 8, 9 years, these $3,000 houses are going to be $4,000 per month. It keeps going up. So this definitely get that cash flow. Definitely get that cash flow. So, you know, whatever the house like, and I'm going to do simple stuff like I buy a house that's got like a funky paint job. I'm just going to paint it a neutral color. You know, just go ahead, and you already got a painter that I know and can trust who can do this stuff. And I'm pretty much going to stay away from stuff I have to rehab, because I don't want, you know, if I have to rehab something, it's going to take 2 to 3 months. That's 2 to 3 months that I'm not making money. Essentially, my plan is once we have a closing date, I'll go to the house, take pictures, put that bad boy on the market even before I go to the closing table, because speed is everything. Yes, indeed, it's definitely a renter's nation. All of these millennials, they can't buy houses, man. Yep. So I expect, you know, to have a year lease and maybe a month or 2 where there won't be anyone in the properties after they leave. And, you know, there's other stuff I can do, other incentives that I can make this a sweeter deal. But, hey, I'm about to go. Just letting you guys know, starting today, right now, you can go to Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills. And let me go ahead and put that up. All right, 50% off of any course or bundle until Sunday. Use code HUSTLER at hustlerskungfulifeskills.com. You can get anything, 50% off. Oh, I will be showing that property, because like a week out before closing, I'm just going to go in the house, take pictures, and get that sucker advertised. So we will see. Because, there may be someone in the house that has to move out. And then, we will negotiate with that because if they're like in the position where they got to move out, I'm going to like charge them rent. I'm like, hey, you're going to have to pay me rent for that month. Hey, you have to pay me rent. Because we ain't joking. We ain't playing about our money. So with that, I'll see you guys later.